all the way through. No brown edges. Tri-tip. I've taken some of the fat off and some of the skin off and some of the connective tissue off to make it so it doesn't, you don't have any chewy bits. But I wanted to do a dry brine, which is what this is. It's a combination of sugar, salt, and I'm using Chinese 5-spice, a touch of cayenne for just a little bit of heat, and then I'm going to do a little pepper. I don't have a smoker. I'm going to do a sous vide. I'm going to put it in a pot of water, and this is going to circulate the water at a specific temperature, which for me is probably going to be about 134 to 135 degrees. And I'm going to leave it in there probably for about 3 hours. Now my hope, based on a pork loin I did the other day, by adding the sugar and the salt, you're getting the brine effect. And that's where the molecules, the water molecules and the salt molecules and the sugar, they change places so that you kind of capillary the flavor of your seasonings deep into the meat. So I did a 4-hour pork loin that was about 6 pounds, yay big. So yeah, it was a reasonable size. And there was flavor all the way to the center on a 4-hour cook. This is a much smaller piece of meat, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do about 3 hours. And we're gonna see what this looks like. So the ingredients here are a tri-tip, salt, pepper, garlic salt, onion salt, and natural sugar, which is kind of a brown sugar. Let's put this together really quick. This is a vacuum seal bag. Supposedly it's safe to cook in. Our temperatures are 135 degrees, so even if it's leaching chemicals, hopefully it's not leaching many. Fancy restaurants do this, but also fancy restaurants don't make the healthiest food, do they? So we're gonna measure out just over the size of the tri-tip, and we'll leave a little extra room so that we can get a vacuum seal on it. And then we're gonna try and cut as straight a line as possible. So we're gonna seal one end of it, put the tri-tip in the other end. We're gonna get a pot of water, put the sous vide device, water circulator in, plug it in, and let it go. So let's seal the bag. So we put one end in. This is now sealed. So we want this to be airtight. That's why it's called a vacuum seal. And then we're gonna pick the meat up. It's already, like the salt is already causing a lot of the moisture to come out. What we'll do, I'm gonna clean off the edge of the bag so it can make a seal without having sugar all over the place. Or salt. You can see what we're doing here. We're gonna get the meat in there. Then we're gonna I put it on my leg because I don't have a lot of counter space. No counter space. Theoretically, we have a good seal. So leave it out for a few minutes before putting it in water, just to make sure you do have a vacuum seal. And the reason we want a vacuum seal on the bag is because if you have a bunch of air pockets, they act as an insulation effect and don't let the heat get through. Vacuum sealed. You can put hot water in it, cold water, doesn't matter. The water circulator will get it up to temperature. It has controls on the face of it, but you also have an app. So if you already have one of these, the app is free. If you don't already have one of these, this particular brand, Anova, you have to pay to use the app, which is a little sus. I'm not sure I'm a fan. Calling you out, Anova. I realize it's hard to make money in this world. I get it, but that's not the way to do it. Why do I have this on a wood block on my stove? Why do I have wood on a fire stove? Usually there's an induction burner here. During the summer, it's easier to do hot water and things with an induction burner rather than heating up the whole kitchen. So if you're wondering, that's why. Put this in. Has to be submerged in the water because that's what it does. It's in. Temperature. So target temperature, it's got a little target symbol, and then cook time, 3 hours exactly. And it's just gonna do the water around. Tri-tip, it's gonna be delicious. I think, maybe. We're just trying this, okay? It's an experiment. We're experimenting with dry brine. Here we are, learning with James. I'll see you back here in about 3 hours. Okay, we're 1 minute shy of 3 hours. It's gotten darker. Leon's getting larger, and I've got a tri-tip in a bag, in a pot, a bowl. What do we need a bowl for? Bags full of juices. Cut it to break the vacuum. We're just gonna pour out the liquid. fun smell. Chinese 5-spice. So we've debagged it. Now it looks kind of gray and boring. Here's the fatty side. So the fat's sort of working down, but it's not like, if you put it in the oven, you can crisp this up. But also I don't know why I need to put it in the oven to crisp it up. Because it's just gonna go on a sandwich, I don't need it crispy. Find the grain that we can cut against. Tri-tips are fun because they're a tri-tip. There's 3 points that they come to. So there's a grain structure this way, there's a grain structure this way, and there's a grain structure that way. Most meat, they tell you to cut across the grain. Sometimes you just have to find it. It's perfect all the way through. The same color. Sous vide tri-tip with a dry brine. I can safely say that the sugar does help get the flavor inside the meat. Every bite is flavorful, every bite is perfectly cooked. Every bite is juicy. 135 degrees. It's a medium rare, but it's a medium rare all the way through. All the way through. No brown edges. So good. Okay, you have to try this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Don't break eye contact.